Hi, welcome to I Believe Incorporated. I Believe TV here in Mount Clair, New Jersey. If you looking and you don't know who I'm sitting with, then you are not a true hip hop fan and you are not a true hip hop artist. I'm with two people who are pioneers of this rap industry. Darryl Mack from Run DMC, the king of rock, and his wife Zuri McDaniels. Very extraordinary people. They got some passionate things that are happening in the world, and they're going to tell you all about it. Darryl and Zuri, please let the world know what's going on with your life, what's going on with your nonprofit, and anything you want the world to know.
Yo, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? This is DMC in the place to be. This is my lovely wife, Zuri. Basically, we got a lot that's going to be happening this year and moving on into the future. We're trying to we're trying to take hip hop and do what I did with it on records, but use this whole medium of communication. About 20 years ago, that's real funny. Chuck D, you know, when rap first started getting on records and we started doing the big tours and, you know, we was getting all the, Run DMC was the first to get the endorsements with Adidas and stuff like that. And, we was going around doing the big coliseums, like, the stuff that Eminem and Jay-Z and Kanye's doing now. People say because of what Run DMC was able to do, we made all of that possible. But I remember when we was doing all of that, and standing on the side of the stage with Chuck D, and he was like, "Yo, all this money's good. We on MTV now. We on the top of the charts. Rap, hip hop, the culture, the music was starting to be accepted as a legitimate form of entertainment and music because we compose, write, and arrange. Sometimes we do sample and steal other music, but we was able to create a legitimate form of music." And Chuck was like, all this money's good, the touring is good, the endorsements is good, playing these big venues is good. But he was like, do you know what's the most powerful thing about this? And I was like, no, Chuck, what? He was like, the power of communication. There's always a microphone. We're always doing interviews. We're on records now. We're on TVs. We're able to make videos. We're on the radio stations. And even now, with the internet and cable TV. So he always said this medium of communication is a powerful thing. But when you look at hip hop nowadays, it's so basic. It's so based on being a star. For us, it wasn't, I'm gonna make a record to be rich and famous or, as a way out, which is cool, but most of the kids think, it's either I could be a rapper, I could be an athlete, or I could be a drug dealer. They don't think about all the options that's available to them. For us, it wasn't about making a record to be in show business. It was about making a record so that we can have a way to educate our audience, and when you educate the audience, they're able to evolve and things could change. So we're trying to utilize this medium of entertainment, music, visuals, movies, and everything to bring about the great change that was initiated when hip-hop was created. Because whether, people know it or not, hip-hop is about no excuses. And I know you can agree with that. Whether your disability, whether your economic status, whatever position you're in, be it fortunate or unfortunate, it's not about excuses. We created hip hop because it was like, okay, the government don't care about us. The schools is messed up. There's a lot of street games, drug and poverty. But hip hop was able to say, okay, it's not about sitting there and looking at the problems we're facing. What do you have in you that could create the solution? So we're trying to build positive images, visual, musical, even if it comes down to marketing, merchandising, that, these young people and older people too, I think a lot of older people need a lot of help, but we want to give positive influence so we could bring about change regardless of your situation. It's like I always tell the foster kids and the orphans and the homeless kids, your situation doesn't define who you are.
You heard it from him, folks. I mean, this is true. I mean, hip hop originated to get you out of a situation and to create something so you can show that you have talent and you cannot let things around you cause you do what's negative. Now, what we see on TV, it seems like what hip hop started, it was like from the negativity, hip hop wanted to change what was negative and show what we can do positive. And now it seems like today what is negative is what is positive, and it's not like that. I mean, from the start of hip hop to get you out of crime, out of the streets, out of gangs, for you to now glorify gangs, glorify the street and the drugs, that's not what hip hop is about. And when you do things like that and you show the world that this is what it is, people around across seas, they think this is what we all about. And we all on the internet, and the first thing they do is talk about the drugs and the crime. You know, are you doing this today? And it's like, that's not what we're about. We're about getting out of that. Hip hop is about getting out of that. So what Darryl is showing you, what he's going to bring to the world, is to bring back what the hip hop is truly about. It's about positive change and positive awareness, and showing that you have more to do than just sit around your house and do negative things. Because idle hands is the devil's workshop, and Darryl's his message is going to show you that idle hands has a lot of things to do that are positive, not the devil's workshop. So now we're going to move on to Zuri, and she's going to tell you some of the things that she's got in the making, nonprofits or organizations and things she's doing. So Zuri, please tell them what's going on with you.
Well, I'm blessed to be, of course, a partner of Darryl McDaniel, which is my husband, and I have witnessed for 19 years what he has done. And before that, I have learned so much as far as all the things that he established before we even met. So now today, being that I am his wife and now I am coming out, ZuriMcDaniels.com. And basically, yeah, right? The Queen's DMC, thank you. And what I'm here now to do is to piggyback off of my husband, to show everyone that as far as the women is concerned, the mothers, the wives, you know, single mothers, women out there that have stopped, I guess, aiming for their dream. You know, I'm here to say that I dedicated my life to my husband and my child. Now my son is going into high school. Going into college, leaving high school, going into college, OMG. And I'm like, you know, what about me? What am I going to do now? So what I wanted to do is revisit the things that I was about before I got married. And that was acting, singing, dancing, all of that. I loved it. I was into the entertainment business, strong, and I gave that up, which was fine. But now it's back. You know, now I'm back and I'm ready to do it. And with that being said, is that there's a lot of different things and projects that I'm doing. One of the most important ones right now, of course, is a nonprofit organization, which we are doing together, which is called Hockey Moms United. And with that, it will be, the idea came from my son. Okay, he's 16 years old. He's a big guy. You know, everybody says, oh, he should play. 5'11" and a half, 16, right. He's a big guy, and everybody always say to him, you know, do you play football? First thing. And he doesn't. He doesn't play football. He loves hockey. So a lot of people also, being an Afro-American male, they're like taken back a little bit. Like, wait, you play hockey? And he's like, yeah, I love it, you know. So it's a passion of his. So that idea stems from him. And with that being said is, D-Son has privileges that Darryl and I did not have growing up. And we look at that as an example for other kids out there that do not have the same privileges as our son. So with this organization, we would like to bring in the inner city kids, foster, adopted kids, anybody that don't get a chance to do what my son does. My son travels with his father. My son goes to games, to concerts. Who meets Lil Wayne? Like, my son met his idol in rapping. Like, come on, who does that? So it's like, wow, you know. So that gave me the idea, like, I want to do that for other kids. I want to be able to set up an organization that other kids are able to say, you know, these are dreams that I want to do. And not just have a dream just because it's your last dream to have, but just things that are out there, showing them different outlets to life. Another example is I'm into fashion, into the entertainment world in that sense. And if someone said to me growing up, you know, you can work for a magazine. Do you know you can do your own magazine? Do you know? No one said that to me, you know, so I didn't know about that. So I want to give those kids those opportunities too. If my son doesn't make it in the NHL, he can own a hockey team. He could be a coach to a hockey team. He can do other things that relate to his passion.